Hi, in this video, we're gonna see how Ansible communicates with its client node and what steps we have to execute in order to perform those. We assume that the Ansible is already installed in the Ansible server. So I have two systems, that is an Ansible server, which is this one, and an Ansible client, where we're gonna manage the things, which will be this system. Okay, Chef Node 2, right? Now let's see if Ansible is already installed or not. If you see, I do have Ansible already installed and the current version of Ansible is 2.9. Okay. Now, what I need to do is that I have to communicate with my client system. If you see, if I do a normal ping to my client, that is 192.168.4.14, I'm able to get a ping. But if I try to do anything with Ansible, that is firing an Ansible ad hoc command or a playbook, I will not be able to do so. Because there is no SSH connection established between Ansible server and the Ansible client. If we see via a diagram, this is what exactly we have to do so. In order to execute any ad hoc command from this server to this server or this to this server, we have to establish a SSH connection. Okay, and few steps are mandatory in order to get that done. Now, if we logically understand, whenever we bring up a Linux system, let it be a RHEL, CentOS, Ubuntu, SUSE Linux, we have a default user called root, which is the supreme user, right? We have a root user in this system, we have a root user in this system, we have a root user in this system. But Ansible says the best practice is to execute Ansible commands and the playbook is with a non-root user. That is, you can create any user and call it, let it say an Ansible itself or admin Ansible. In our case, what we're gonna do is that, so whatever Ansible related things we're gonna execute, we're gonna create a user called sglin, okay, in this system, and then give it some root privileges. So it will be a normal user with some root privileges. Okay, the same thing you have to do in the client also, because your Ansible will execute some command as a sglin user, in order to perform that in the client node, it will require that that same user is available here. Otherwise, it will not be able to do so. Okay, it will not be able to connect to this system and execute those commands. So that's why we create sglin in this system in all the clients. If there are 100 clients, you have to do this first 3 steps in all the clients. Then only you will be able to use your Ansible further. Okay, these are mandatory. Now, assuming that you have created sglin user here. Now, your Ansible ad hoc command says that you have to install some packages. So obviously you will fire some ad hoc command like a module yum and then package to install is httpd. It gets connected because you have that user here, but it will fail to execute that install yum install httpd package because that requires sudo privileges. That's the reason we add user to the vi sudo file, so that these users will have some root privileges to do the same task as a root user. Okay, simple. So these are the steps which we have to carry forward or do it in all the system, in Ansible server as well as in this one. So let's see the flow, how we're gonna do. Step 1, create user sglin, okay, sglin, and be sure to do this if you are using Ubuntu and SUSE Linux. It may be for other system also, but I know that in Ubuntu and SUSE Linux this has to be done, whereas in RHEL and CentOS you don't need to. Okay, that is create -m is for create home directory, and hyphen s, which cell it should log in, that is bin bash. Otherwise, by default, it will be bin/sh cell. So you will not be able to, you will not be in the bash. Okay, done. Now set the password for SGLin. I'm just giving a random password like admin. This is a this is gonna be my Ansible server. So I'm giving admin at the rate 123. Okay, done. Now I will add this user in the vi sudo file. I might have do that. But let's see. Who knows, right? Yeah. So it's already there. See, by default, only this will be there. Only this line. Okay. So you have to get into here, press enter, enter this line. Exactly like this. Give all privileges to this user, and there should not be any password prompt. That is what this means. Now you write this file, come out of it, and generate a SSH key. Okay. So this was already there. If you see, I've already done this, so that's why it is there. So I say overwrite, yes, it will overwrite it. Okay. Now I go to my node. So if you see the diagram, we have done this, right? We have done it. Okay, we have done it. Now client. So I'm going to my client. Okay. Then here also I'll say user at SGLIN, and I'll hit enter. But I will not give -m and -s/bin/bash because this is my CentOS system. So I don't need those. I'll set my password to maybe user at rate 123 because these are my client nodes. Successfully done. I'll add this to the vi sudo files. To add anything in the vi sudo file, you should have a root privileges. So that is why I'm doing with the root user. If you have any other user with a similar privileges like root, then you can do sudo vi sudo like that. I'll go to the bottom of the file and I'll see if that is. So here also, if you see, I've already added that. If you not, if you just see root all equal to all, then you have to come down. Okay, and then it's at this time. I hope so you should know how to insert in the editor, add the line and save it. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so step number 1 is done, 2 is done. Now step number 3 will not be done from the client, it has to be done from the server. Okay, let me exchange the key. So I'll go back to my server. Okay, now I'll switch to my SGN user. Okay, so we did a mistake here. That was like creating this SSH key. We created for root. Okay, we generated the key for root. We don't need the key for root. We need for SSH. So let's do it. So assuming that we have performed step number 1 and 2 in server, step number 1 and 2 in the client. Now we are doing step number 3 in the server. Okay, SSH hyphen eject. Generate the key. Now we exchange the key. yes, and it will prompt for the password as Jillian at this system. So the password which we are gonna type is for Jillian user at this system 14.4. Okay, so we're gonna get the password. Done. Now let's see. What I will do is that I'll say sudo vim /etc ansible host. Fine. Now let's see what is the file name. Okay, host is the file name. Sudo vim okay, I will add. Okay, so I have already added my target IP address here. This is my client which I'm going to manage from my Ansible server, and I've give a group name test. Okay, now I'll say Ansible test -m checkbox, right? Regardless of where you are, if you give this command, it will first of all check in the current directory. It will check in the current present working directory whether ansible.cfg file is there or not. It is not there, so it directly goes into its configuration file like /etc/ansible.cfg and check for the host file if that host file is there or not, like any group. So this is how you communicate with your server. Right? Now if I try to say Ansible test group name, test is my group name -m setup. Okay, this is to gather all the facts. It's very noisy. So we are able to gather the facts. That is how you gather the facts. If you want to see all the detail about your client, right? For example, if you see node name is step node2.power.lab. The family type, OS family type is Red Hat, right? And boot image is this one. Your RD, LVM, LBS, CentOS. So we have two partitions, /root and /swap. And then more information like what is the expedient, what is the host name, right? What is the IP address? So all these things will be there. So this is how you communicate with yourself. You have to make sure about this, that you create a user here, add it to a sudo file, and then go back to your client, create a user, SCLN, and sudo, add it to the sudo. Let me not confuse you by writing this file here. Okay, you do this. Step number 4. Here also, let's see. Step number 3 is to go to client system and perform and create user and add it to a sudo. That is these 2 steps. And step 4 is generate SSH key. So 5th step, exchange that, right? So this is how